a holiday, such a holiday. Ooh, you're a holiday.
This is the Polemic Pool, and we're finally back together. This is Laura Castelletto.
Hi, I'm one of the others, I think. Jerry Bowes.
And Steve Anderson, and I'm happy to be with you both again, especially at the new year. This is January 1 of 2016. That's awesome.
Happy
yes.
New Year.
Yes, I'd clang glasses, but I'm not sure
Well, I have a cup here.
All right.
Here we go.
Yes, the best to us
Salud.
all. Yes. So I thought we'd talk about holidays and maybe kind of go into either different holidays, what they represent, whether we want to talk about how consumerism has kind of taken over some of the holidays or actually created holidays in a sense, and perhaps how Christians have usurped some of the pagan holidays through history. So we can go in a lot of different avenues, and who would like to start?
I'd like to start. You asked me to start because I'm the chipper person. So I'd like to start by saying that I hate tradition. I hate traditions.
Oh. Jane, you ignorant slut, is what I want to say. I love traditions.
But isn't hate actually a tradition? Are you serious about that, or are you just trying to be argumentative?
Well, I don't think this is a good quality of mine, but yeah, I've always kind of hated everything that's traditional, and I always want to reinvent it because I feel trapped by most traditions. And so I've enjoyed my holidays quite a bit this year because I deliberately tried to reinvent them. And I would like to even take it further. And I think you heard me proposing that Christmas be divided into 7 small sub-holidays over a course of time because it's way too stressful. And one of them is a cookie baking holiday, and one of them is a stringing lights holiday, and one of them is a singing holiday.
Sounds kind of womanish.
Isn't it, though?
You know,
There should be a hunting holiday.
Yeah, that's right.
A bonfire holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Big truck holiday.
Well, okay, it wasn't that the Roman idea of celebrating the end of the year? I think they had their months and then a week of festivals to use up the extra days at the end of the year. And Saturnalia was one of the origins of Christmas. It was a gift-giving holiday at the end of the year that the Romans had a fill-in of a week-long party time.
Yeah, the 5-day holidays where you're drunk and orgying right through that should come back too. Yeah.
Well, so
stress relief.
Well, it has with some people.
So Judaism, basically, don't they? Oh boy, I got to be real careful here because I haven't read my Torah in a long time, but and I was brought up in a Jewish community, so I'm a little embarrassed. But don't they have a series of days, not just one day? And isn't it like 7 or 8?
The Festival of Lights, the Hanukkah?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Is it 7? Yeah, I think
Oh boy, I know. I'm going to get myself in trouble
Kwanzaa
here.
has like a week, and every day has a different focus, and it's sort of cool the way it's set up. Although it can turn into a very materialistic holiday as well.
so.
Yeah.
Kwanzaa is something of a made-up holiday.
Sure.
Is it not? Something, a reinvention of
Yeah.
the holiday urge at this time of year.
It was a college professor in the United States in the 60s came up with Kwanzaa.
Oh.
Yet I don't know of any. I do have some black friends, and I don't know anyone who actually celebrates it.
Oh, my family did. I was the white scapegoat.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Representing the evil white person.
Yeah, I played that role in Robinson Theater. Yeah, I was the evil white guy in several productions.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's hard.
someone had to be.
It's hard to take.
Well, Laura, not that we can't talk about Kwanzaa, but you mentioned that you tried to kind of tweak the holidays a little bit and tried to alter how you celebrate it, if I'm understanding what you said correctly. So can you give me an example of what you did to kind of alter it so I can get a feel for what you're referring to?
I can give you a lot of examples, but my main point would be that mindset determines your experience.
Yeah.
And so just the way that you think about it can make it very enjoyable or very not. And one of the things I did was extend Halloween right through Christmas and call it Winter Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Tim Burton holiday, huh?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you saw the alien on my front door wearing the Santa hat
Mm-hmm.
and carrying Cindy Lou Who in a jar. And there's spiders all in my bunting or whatever, garlands. There's
Sure.
spiders in the garlands. And I went on the shop hop in Easttown, and I called that adult trick-or-treating and counted how many alcoholic beverages I could get, which was 5. That was really fun.
Well, you mentioned earlier about having a little trouble with tradition, and I know that can be the case with people who do not feel part of the mainstream. I had a high school biology teacher who was an atheist. Couldn't really talk about it except in private conversations
Sure.
after school.
Of course.
And he made a point of celebrating Isaac Newton's birthday, which is on on the 25th, and he made that as a holiday. Different, and because he had a really hard time with Christmas, he was upset by it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so
we all
he,
need a cause.
He took it viscerally.
He took it viscerally,
Mm.
and there are people who do that,
Yeah, I suppose.
and just other people who don't care for the holidays for different kinds of personal reasons. They don't have family, or they come from a different culture, and they have trouble at this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was talking with somebody about bringing friends to your big family dinners,
Mm-hmm.
and we had the same conclusion, which was that you can bring your friend that doesn't have family and is going to be alone. You can bring that person, but you can't bring your boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you can bring the ragged hobo off the street,
Right.
but don't bring your boyfriend because that's going to be a whole new problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's common in a lot of families.
It is.
Yeah.
I've heard so many stories. I have a friend at work, and it's a boyfriend girlfriend thing, and the families, the mother and father of each, doesn't like the son and daughter's choices in their boyfriend/girlfriend. So yeah, it's that whole Romeo and Juliet stuff is pretty common, it seems.
Yeah, we've had a certain family dynamic that hasn't worked.
Mm.
It pops up in families.
Yeah.
There are cultural differences. I mean, you get people who like the Southern tradition versus the Northern tradition, and it can collide. That's what we were having a problem with in our family thing. I'd like to play the role of the drunk uncle sometime. I'd really like to just play a role sometime.
Yes. Like in Scent of a Woman.
Oh yes, for instance.
That would be a classic, where they go for Thanksgiving, and there's some.
Well, I'm not trying to say that I want to swim upstream and hate everything and project that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just uncomfortable with a lot of traditions. But if you just kind of reinvent them mentally, it just makes it more fun. And
Sure.
because the part of the tradition I don't like is where it becomes shackles on everyone.
Oh.
And even if you go into a room and everybody always sits in the same chair, after a while you feel like you're locked into it, and
Yes.
it just feels like an imprisonment, but you can't change it because then everybody else will react and they'll all freak out on you. So I'm just trying to have my own little revolution in my head, but it works for me.
Oh, well.
But I really would like to carry it further and kind of constantly bring a little bit of disruption to things that lock down in negative or stifling ways.
Well, I don't approach the holidays from a particularly religious viewpoint. I do embrace them, though, as an annual celebration of family and friends.
Sure.
And I'm aware of the solstice, and I'm aware of other traditional aspects. I like bringing boughs into the house. I string those. The Christmas tree is very symbolic to me, and I enjoy all those things. We have a big Polish breakfast on from my mother's side on Christmas morning, and we do ethnic food, and there's just a lot of things that are non-Christian that I thoroughly enjoy, that are quite traditional. Mm-hmm. And I look forward to it. And another aspect of that is that by having those traditions with our kids and bringing them along in them, then they look forward to it, and it's a family dynamic that kind of works and is good. And,
I think I would probably lean more toward accommodation. Whether it's Christmas time, I don't subscribe to the Christian, virgin birth story and all that kind of stuff.
I'm shocked.
But, if people can get together and they can break bread and celebrate and be with each other, even if it's kind of coerced in a sense, because you have an obligatory kind of, hey, it's the holidays, the family gets together. Mm-hmm. And I would hate to abandon tradition altogether. I think there's some things we can learn from tradition, but Laura's kind of saying that too. She's just saying that she can learn from tradition by tweaking it and altering it and changing it a little bit to make her feel more comfortable and not so imprisoned by the
by the forms.
I would not be imprisoned by a large
forms.
Polish breakfast. That I would feel happy there. Yeah. Well, this year I was curious. What is Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas? You guys know what that is?
Yeah. I've been to Boxing Day parties.
I know it's in Canada, and I looked it up, and it's a messed up thing. It's almost everywhere except here, and it's for the upper class people who on Christmas Day would be waited on by the lowlifes and poor people, the servants. So the next day you box up all your leftovers and things you didn't want, and you give them to the servants. So you get a box full of, old cold turkey or whatever. That's Boxing Day.
Here's some scraps.
It's almost kind of a trickle-down effect.
It is, exactly. Yes.
Just one more way to celebrate the holidays.
Yeah. Boxing Day.
And let me see, what else? There's been Festivus that's been created. That was a made-up holiday, but some people kind of get into that. That comes out of the sitcom Seinfeld.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
yes,
does.
Yes, it
That's
does.
what I
But it
remember.
goes way back in Europe.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember it from Seinfeld.
I remember it from Seinfeld too.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so
if
that
you
goes
do
way
your
back.
research on Santa Claus and where that came from, Festivus is like the evil.
Is Festivus part of the Krampus?
Yeah, Krampus.
Krampus?
Oh, yeah.
Krampus in some countries has like a black sidekick who's all evil and
In
goes
the
after
Netherlands,
bad children. He's experiencing
Black
a
Peter.
resurgence.
Black Peter.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands, yeah. And Krampus. Oh, he's a pre-Christian precedent to Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
And he will punish the bad children by whipping them.
Yeah.
So you better be good or you're going to get it.
Oh my gosh.
And
as usual in Europe, it involves a lot of alcohol, running around in the street, and being bad.
Yep. Which they
I love
embrace.
the Europeans.
So if you have, I think, problems with some of the traditions of the classic Christmas, there's a wealth of things to draw on.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's not just Christmas, but like all the holidays. Really, as far as I can tell, they go way back in time. We're just trying to mark the passage of time, right?
Sure.
Because I don't want every day to be go to work, come home, make dinner, go to blah blah
Right.
blah. I don't
That's
want
true.
to. I like to go. You remember last year at Christmas, and you have these memories that are associated with that marker in time. I do like having markers in time,
Sure.
Sure.
and that go round and round cyclically, and so yeah. But you can look way back in time and see all of the pagan traditions that Christmas comes from, and they seem to have a kind of a pattern to them.
Absolutely.
Sure. A lot of it has to do with the winter solstice, and looking forward to spring, and the light coming back into life. That's all good. But I just wanted to say, this seemed like a good point. Maybe I could throw it in, that I learned something from my wife. You learn things from your spouse that you
Of
didn't
course.
expect.
Sure.
And I found out that my wife likes to celebrate the small holidays. She gets into St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
She really likes May Day. And I have found that if we celebrate this stuff, you can have, fun times.
Of course.
You can do it in your own way.
Right.
You don't have to have patterns, but just by embracing some of these lesser holidays and getting into it and involving your family and stuff like that, you can create some good times along the way. And it kind of loosened me up.
I think that's awesome. Well, all you have to do is look, some calendars that you can buy, they have all these, what do you want to call them, celebration days that are kind of obscure.
Talk like a pirate did.
I got
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Valentine's Day is also AIDS Awareness Day.
Some are less fun than others.
Yes.
No, I don't know what you do to have fun on that.
Well, what kind of holidays do you think we could make up? I mean, there's some fun stuff here. Maybe we can use our imagination here and come up with some things, but using today's experiences and
Well, how about an interweb day?
an interweb day.
Celebrate technology.
What do we do on that day?
I don't know. Plug into something, I imagine.
It's funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing, only the reverse.
Yeah, I like that.
The reverse?
Avoidance technology.
Oh,
day,
okay, yeah.
Where you almost become Amish for a day.
Oh, Amish for a day. I like that.
Amish for a day.
Uh-huh.
And no electricity, because we become so we're so spoiled. We have so much technology, and we take it for granted. I mean, it's wonderful. I use it all the time. We're recording this on a laptop, but maybe we ought to kind of center ourselves sometimes and become a little more terrestrial, maybe no electricity,
Mm-hmm.
no smartphones, no computers, no TVs, no cars, and I don't know what that does to the economy, but frankly, I don't give a shit.
No.
No, they can handle it. I like the idea of camping day too. Just kind of take off on that.
Yeah.
Go out with your family or your friends or whomever, and camp in the woods.
Yes.
Now, I'm kind of a wimpy camper. Can my wife and I just kind of like drape some sheets in our living room and spray some insect repellent as if there's, we're pretty lame.
So you're saying that there's some holidays that you're not going to embrace.
Well, we would try to come up with something, but yeah. How about you, Laura? Any thoughts? Of course, you're very creative with a lot of things. So what?
Well, I'm also nerdy in my way, so I like to take an event that happened in time
Okay.
or a person and commemorate it, and turn it into a day, and keep referencing that all day, and that's a lot of fun, regardless of what it is.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Give us an example
I'm
then.
trying to think. Well, didn't I do Copernicus? I can't think of one right offhand, but I've done it a bunch of times where kind of all day just play off something.
Well, I guess that's what my biology teacher did with Isaac Newton,
Sure.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And you eat apple pie, right?
And he
Yeah.
yes, actually he did.
Yeah.
He dressed up as Isaac Newton the last day of class before Christmas vacation, and he did the whole thing.
Well, I now have a party every summer where I choose a historical time and everybody's supposed to come in that time period. Oh, that's so much fun.
I like that. I'm sorry we missed the last one. There aren't enough substantive holidays either, I think. Things that, unfortunately, we have Columbus Day, which is semi-historical.
Yeah.
But it's twisted.
Yes, of course.
So if we could have...
Well, that's a little Halloweeny. Columbus Day.
It's a little, yeah. Celebrate the slaughter of the American Indian.
Yeah.
It's not so nice. We do have the 4th of July is supposed to be a very positive historical day. But I like things like Guy Fawkes Day that the British have.
Oh, yeah.
I think it celebrates a little bit the revolutionary spirit, and anti-authoritarian.
Blow things up, yeah.
I rather like that. And I think there could be other kinds of themes of that sort that could be drawn on more.
Well, this is I think, an interesting subject because it becomes a catharsis in many ways because it kind of talks about what Laura was talking about in that she kind of tweaks the holiday that, you're just kind of creating something new. You are lost in this traditional way that you're supposed to do this particular holiday, and to be able to be creative where you can kind of have an effect and therefore enjoy the holiday more.
Oh, I've got another one.
Cathartic.
I'm
Okay.
playing a game right now, only it's not a one-day thing because it's taking me time, which is any phrase like kit and caboodle, I reverse it and it's caboodle and kit. And so I keep looking for them in my head and then trying to reverse them before I say them. And I've been playing with that for a while and it's just fun and it throws everyone off.
That is good.
Reversal Day. Instead of talk like a pirate day, you have talk and reverse day.
Reverse paired words. I've been playing with that,
Oh, I got one. Do some ironic kind of like things like start smoking day. Everybody buy a pack of cigarettes and smoke for that day. I mean,
Heroin Day.
That's great, Steve.
It's so weird.
But then you sort of have not you, but you can sort of impose new disciplines on yourself, so you're more aware of you feel more alive when you put yourself through some requirements. And also, every New Year's Eve you're supposed to make resolutions, although we're so decadent now, I think maybe that's gone to the wayside. I don't hear as much about it as 20 years ago. Didn't you get people always asking you what's your resolution? And I don't anymore. But I'm a big fan of resolutions or having a phase or something, but not for a whole year. I like to go maybe 3 months and do something and focus on something for a while.
Oh, okay.
Or anything that is chip away at it every day and then you get somewhere in time.
Well, this is January 1. What is your resolution for? Do you have
I actually didn't come up with them, but I'm learning Spanish, and todos los días yo estudio español. Pero es muy malo, but I'm sure I can tell that I'm getting better all the time at it.
Awesome.
And
Great.
I did start running, and I was going to run a certain amount of time, a certain amount of miles every week, but my back started hurting so badly that I dropped it, and I decided instead I'm going to drink water, lots of water. Those two things don't go together, but for my head they do.
Sure. Sure.
I think it's been the case at this time of year to make resolutions to better ourselves, because we've gone through a very indulgent holiday season, and so you've put on weight, and if you live in the northern climes, you can't do as much natural physical exercise and whatnot. So people will just by course say, well, I gotta knock off the booze, I gotta watch my diet, I should start doing some push-ups, whatever it might be, to set myself straight after being so indulgent. It seems like that. I think that's where the whole idea of resolution and that came out of. I might be mistaken. I'm just making things up as I go, but seems clear to me.
Well, it hasn't stopped any of us doing that before, so that's fine.
Well, it's kind of the whole theme here is making things up as you go.
Well, I think it's finding the holidays and finding the ways to celebrate holidays that makes life interesting. I have a friend who celebrates Bastille Day every year. It's again one of those historical things I happen to like, and boy, it's got. I just love that period. I love the Enlightenment. I love the revolutionary spirit of it. I like drinking on the beach with them when that comes around. So you can make your holidays.
Well, you see these Civil War reenactments where men and women dress up in that time period and they have these battles.
Okay, some of them are goofy.
Of course they're goofy. It's the same thing though, isn't it? It's kind of getting out of yourself, and you're able to be someone else, and everybody's in this together and having a good time. So
if you can get your friends to go along with you, that's when it's really more fun.
Yeah, that's true. Which is why I applaud your historical day, where you have your party that celebrates.
Oh, my friends do it better than I do. Like Kat Russell. She gets into character, and she works on her character for several days and kind of creates a backstory, and then she brings it, and it's so entertaining.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then the one year my sister came as the Eiffel Tower, and she was hurling insults at everyone in a French accent, and saying they were all inferior to French, everything.
Sure.
And so the dialogues between the guests is what I just love. I love the live theater being played out.
I always liked the meeting of the minds kind of idea.
Sure,
Yeah.
Of course, that's just wonderful stuff. Us humans, we have this, or many of us are very imaginative, and yet we want to kind of tweak reality, whatever that means, and that's the way to do it. And you have fun in a group, and you play these roles, and
And I think there's such a plethora of possible holidays out there that you should be free to pick and choose.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do Super Bowl Sunday, don't do it.
I don't.
Choose something else. Choose Bastille Day. Choose something else.
Yes.
Whatever it might be.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pro all holidays, and I kind of want to be part of every religion whenever they're having a holiday, unless it's just one of those fasting days. I'm not really down with that. Well, actually, I am. But
that's Indian holiday, the Festival of Lights that they have. I forget the name of it. That sounds really interesting. Something I'd like to.
The Indian.
Indian, yes.
Okay.
Is that where you paint a cow some bright color?
Yes, you paint a lot of things. Well, I don't think you kill it because cows are sacred.
Okay.
But,
I doubt if you kill a cow in India.
But you do.
Confusing things.
There's a lot of makeup involved.
All right.
A lot of painting of things. A lot
I like
of lights.
it already.
Sounds fun.
Well, my New Year's resolution,
We're offending Indians.
Sure are.
I
we need to be set straight.
I've been away from. I used to sit and meditate for regularly, and I got out of the habit, just like we all get out of habits, that whether it's running or juggling or
virtuous habits.
Yes.
That are good for you.
Yes.
But you slide out
Yes, and then when you go back to it, you go, why did I ever give this up?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, this feels so wonderful. And so I think I'm going back that way. And I've noticed that, yeah, I think I need to go back to that a little bit. And so I think that's going to be my resolution. We'll see.
National Do Nothing Day?
Yes. Yes, I call it.
He calls it meditation.
Yeah, well, tomato.
I'm having a little fun with it.
Well, I call it Sloth Day, and but no, maybe that is a good one. Couch Potato Day, or whatever. TV Day. You have to watch TV the entire day, and you cannot exclude commercials. You can't just like skip the commercial and.
Now you're just inventing tortures.
Well,
Yeah.
of course.
I think focus should be elsewhere.
Well,
Non-torturous.
if we want to wrap it up, we're at that 31-minute mark. Not that that's a real big deal, but again, it was fun to hang out with you guys. I don't know if we're going to have a regular schedule or not for 2016, but we do have quite a record of podcast. There's been discussions on Free Thought Cafe where someone will bring up a subject, and I'll go, oh, well, we talked about that,
Right.
and I'll give them the the URL so they can they can listen to it. So we're developing a library of discussions, and so we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'd be happy to add to that library.
I want to put on record that I have 2 dreams for Free Thought Cafe that I want to actualize.
Okay.
And one of them is that I want to source everyone's wisdom and create a free thinker's Bible via the internet.
Okay.
And the internet, unlike a physical book, is not limited in size. And what I want to do is have everyone bring quotes that are inspirational and wise, spiritual kind of quotes, and compile them into one book.
But aren't you the same person who said that you don't care for memes? Or whatever. I'm saying the word wrong.
Memes?
Memes.
Probably. But
You're requiring her to be consistent?
My mistake.
Like,
My mistake. I
everything
apologize.
from the Bible that is good advice and wise, we could have in there, right? And everything from everywhere. It could all be there by category, and then you could also have how you can fold things into things. You could have commentary upon these quotes, so that unlike the Bible, it can't be used to justify slavery and mass rape and etc. And the commentaries, we could there would need to be an editor.
Oh,
You
I'm
could
sure we'd
select-
find ways to do that.
You could select the best interpretation of this quote. A quote I really like is, "Those who would shed light must endure burning." And so then you could have an explanation of that for anybody who
Sure.
wants it, and the best explanation would last. And that's like a document that I want to create.
Well, I think that's a good idea. It's almost like a free thought Wikipedia, if you will.
Yeah.
And one, and two, I might suggest it be in categories, like
Totally.
maybe one is on wisdom, or one is on faith, or one is on death, or so you have these actual
Yeah.
top.
And I'm sure there would be contradictory statements
No.
that would be there.
And maybe
Half
two
Say
of
it's not true.
Maybe they
like
would
any
stand
good
as
religious
is.
text, it'd be full of contradictions. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but you would need some editors, and you would get rid of the ones that lead you in a bad direction, or you would tweak them.
Sounds a little totalitarian to me, I tell you. I'm being
not
edited already, aren't I?
A benevolent dictator
Oh.
is really the best possible scenario. I almost said malevolent. No, but try to say that quick. benevolent, not malevolent dictator.
So is a benevolent dictator oxymoronic? Because to say dictate, aren't they forcing you or telling you what you have to do on one hand, and then they're benevolent on the other? How does that work?
It's your wife.
Thank you. Now I understand.
Oh, it makes sense to me. You're giving up some of your freedom for lots of other good stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Well, this has been fun, folks.
It's been fun. It's always good to hang out with y'all. So we'll say bye for now, and hopefully we'll have another one.
We love you all, and we're going to bring lightning bolts of wisdom soon again in the future.
It's been good. See you in the new year.
Bye, Steve. Bye, Jerry.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, you're a holiday, such a holiday. Ooh, you're a holiday, such a holiday.